Hi guys, you're welcome back to my channel. You guys, in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you guys how I met my ex-husband and the lesson that I've learned. And I don't know why I am happier sharing this story today than I was 4 years ago when I shared the same story. Probably because time heals all wound, you understand. 4 years ago when breakup happened, I was hot, and when I was sharing this story, I was sharing it from a place of hot, from a place of disappointment, from a place of, I don't know. But if you watch that video and watch this one, you're going to see there's a big difference. Today I'm sharing the same story, but I'm happier sharing it today. Okay, so without wasting so much of your time, let us dive into the video. You're welcome back. So like I said, today's video is going to be how I met my ex-husband and the lesson I've learned. And I'm sharing this story because there are a lot of naive young girls out there that men like this are going to be preying on. You understand? Preying on them seriously, and they will not know. So but with my story, you'll be able to stay on the lookout and know what you want, what you're looking for before marriage. You understand? That is one of the reasons why I'm sharing this story. And another reason why I'm sharing this story is because some of my recent subscribers that were not here when I shared the same story 4 years ago are not really aware. They don't know the stories, and I feel like it would be better for them to hear it from me now. It's not like it's difficult for me to go and take that video and share it and say go and watch it, but now I feel like I am more wiser, and I feel like I am more better, in a better frame of mind to share the same story. So that's why I feel like, okay, you know what, let me actually tell this story again. So now, how did I meet my ex again? How did I meet this guy? Okay, so yeah, I just came out of a relationship. I just had a breakup. I'm not going to tell you how that one happened. If you're interested in the same story, my first boyfriend, I can actually share that one as a different story altogether. Yeah, but just know that I used to like that guy a lot. So we just had a breakup, and my friends, I had these 5 friends, and they all knew me very well. We knew each other. In fact, we were so close. So they knew about the breakup. So 3 months after the breakup, I was still healing, trying to move on with my life. I'll tell myself I don't want any relationship, and then the next I'll be like, you know what, I have to enter another relationship to show this guy. My mood was just fluctuating, you understand. So then we went to one of my friends' house, because we used to go to her own house, and then after that they'll come to my own lodge because I was in school that time. I was in my 2nd year in school. So we went to my friend's house, the 4 of us, because one of our friends has gone to youth service at the time. So it was just remaining the 4 of us. So we went to one of our friend's house. So when we got there, we were talking, talking. So they now raised the question. They're like, I mean, no, if you see another man now that's really serious, and when he wants a serious relationship with you, are you not going to enter are you not going to enter another relationship? I said, why not? If I see another guy that is good, that's what I want. I'll enter another. He said, good. That there's this friend of hers, the lady, like that, my friend that we went to her house, the owner of the house go, not the other 3 of us. So she was like, that there's a lady, a friend of hers, that saw my picture and that she likes me, and that she's recommending me for her brother-in-law who is abroad and wants to get married. She's recommending me. How did she like me? How did she like me? I don't know. Who's the friend? Has she seen me before? She said no, that not really, that she hasn't seen me before, but that she saw my picture. That I remember that group picture we took when we went for our convention. I said yes. She said hey, that she saw me in that picture, because the 5 of us were in the picture. That she saw me in that picture and that she likes me, and then she wants, that she said she should bring me so that she can see me, and then she can afterwards recommend me to her brother. So somehow I just felt like, how can somebody just see somebody on picture and just like the person? Wow. I felt privileged, like I felt happy, I felt surprised. I said, really? Just because you saw my picture, just like that? She said yes. So my friends were like, you know what, let's just go and meet that, my friend. See, prior to now, I was of this opinion that I would never date anybody that I've not seen face to face. I was of that opinion, seriously. And many of my friends knew this thing. So when they were telling me, let us go and meet them, I was reluctant. I was like, but it was more like, which is why, whenever you're doing anything, stand on your ground, 1, and then 2, do not give in to pressure, no matter the type of pressure, because there are different types of pressure and there are subtle pressures. You might not see it. It's not like they use gun and point on your head and say, do this thing. But then, softly and stylishly, you never know when you start doing that thing that those people are telling you to do. You understand? So I gave in to pressure at that time, because even though it was subtle, so they were like, let's go and see her, because she lives very close to that, my friend. Let's go and see her. So the 3 of us went. Now one of my friends left because she had errands to run. So it demanded the 3 of us. Me, the one that recommended me, and one of my friends. So the 3 of us now went to go and meet the lady that saw my picture. So when we met, she said, wow, that I'm even prettier in real life than in picture. That she likes me. That her brother-in-law is a good person. That the brother-in-law is a very good person. That she tells me that she's giving me her word that he will take care of me. You understand? I said, well, it's not like, well, Meanwhile, my friends were like, just give it a try, give it a try. It's not like you're immediately you meeting this person, you're getting married now. Just give the person a try. Who knows? You understand? So in my mind, I was like, okay, let me give it a try. So that was how we now met. So she now collected my number. She said that she was going to give him my number, and then she gave me his own number. So when she gave me his own number, I went back to my lodge. So he called me after like 2 weeks or so. He called me a week plus. Sorry, he called me one day, and once I saw that number, I knew that that number is a foreign number, even though it was not the same number that the sister-in-law gave me. It was a different number. But once I saw the foreign number, I knew it has to be him because nobody at the time used to call me with foreign number. So when he called me, he said, "Do you know who you're speaking with?" I said, "Are you so person?" He said, "Yes." And then we started talking. Even though later on he told me that one of the reasons why he liked me or finally chose me was because I did not pretend. Because some of people, when he eventually called them, they start asking, who is this? Who is this? Then I did not even ask. He started talking. He would call me and we would talk over and over and over. We would talk from morning to night. We would talk. Whenever he's back from work, we would talk. Whenever he's going back to work, he tell me he's going back to work. Me, I don't used to call him because I was a student and I cannot be calling foreign number. You know the tariff plan, the money is too much. So, but he didn't want to call. We would talk and talk and talk so much that he would even tell me to give my roommates Ngo phone. And so share my roommate would talk to. And then over time, when he says give Ngo the phone, Ngo will be like, no. Because she too got tired of always talking. So along the line, over time of talking, it felt like I really knew this guy. Like it felt like I knew him a lot. It felt like I know his closing time. I know when he's going to work. I know when it felt like I knew him a lot. And you guys, which brings me to another of my lesson. Do not assume you know somebody you speak to or you talk to over the phone. Whether on WhatsApp, on Facebook, on YouTube, anywhere. Don't just assume you know that person just because you and this person have been talking. If you've not met this person in real life, my sister, my brother, you have not met the person. So don't go and commit. Don't make any commitment to somebody you've not seen. Yes, it works for some people. There are people who have gone through this road and it worked for them, but there are majority of the people that have gone through the same road and it didn't work for them, and many of them did not even live to tell the story. Some who eventually lived that cannot bring themselves to telling these stories. So please, what I'm saying is, I'm not saying do not meet somebody online and but just what I'm saying is, don't just assume that you know this person just because you talk every day over the phone with the same person. Don't assume it. In fact, I've had to experience about the same thing, but that one is a different story altogether. It has nothing to do with my ex. So do not ever assume that you know somebody you talk to over the phone. So we kept talking. It was fun. So over time, it felt like I knew him. And then another thing too was, all the time we were talking, it was few times that he sent me money. One time that he sent me money was because personally, I am not the kind of person that likes to beg. I don't like begging. If you on your own give me, I appreciate it. But if I ever come like this to beg you, just know that I don't have any other option. Just know that I don't have any other option. I've checked, I've cross-checked, I've checked, and it's the only option for me. So when we were dating, I wasn't the type that would always ask him to do this one for me, do that one for me, even though he lived abroad, he was based abroad. And he too, I should have known, he wasn't free with me, he wasn't sending me money, you understand? It was just one time we were talking, because he's this kind of person that when you're talking to him, and you as little as beat somebody, he gets offended. He'll be like, why are you, me and you are talking and you're beating somebody else? Don't you know you're distracted, you understand? He get offended. So that day we were talking and I was fanning myself with paper, because in my lodge then, the door and the window was one place. So, which meant that there was no cross ventilation. Ngo, you're here, you watch my video, you can testify. There was no cross ventilation, so our room was always hot, you get. So I'll always be fanning myself when we were talking. So he said, okay, what am I doing? What is that noise? I told him, okay, sorry, that I'm using paper to fan myself because of it. He said, is that no light? I said, I should on fan. I said, I don't have fan. He said, okay, that he will send me money to buy fan. So he sent me either 20 or 15,000 naira. Either 15 or 20,000 naira, but it's not more than that. So he said I should buy fan 10,000 naira and then I should use the remaining one to, as my pocket money. So, but as a student that I had other pressing needs, not fan. So when he gave me the money, I went to the market to price it, and I found that the thing was costly. I said, I beg, there's this handout that my lecturer has been disturbing me to buy since that I have to buy that handout. So I used the money and buy the handout. You understand? I did not buy the fan. I was in my second year and I got married at the age of, okay, at this time now I was 21 years old when we were talking. And yes, I was naive. I was an introvert, but I'm not really that naive. You understand? I don't know how to explain it. You can call me a Jew guy, but you cannot call me a Jew guy, if it makes sense. So we were talking, and which brings me that please be mentally matured before you think of marriage. Be able to state what you want and what you do not want. Do not hide yourself. Do not pretend. Do not act cool. Something that you know you cannot take. Make the person know that, see this thing, I cannot take it. So the person will know the kind of person you are. But if you're the kind of person that would enjoy a lot of things, you keep enjoying, by the time you eventually burst out, the person will not see it coming, and the person will be like, you've been pretending all these years. You understand? So now, he used to ask me that time to go to one of his friends that has a chemist, but he sells beverages too as well. So he used to tell me that time to go and collect, beverages from him as a student that I was. He never gave me the money to go buy these things myself, and I never asked. You see the thing now, so I would go and I'll go and collect. And this his friend was selling chemist, like I said, medicine, drugs, and some few beverages. So the only thing he used to say, he doesn't sell over tea or Lipton or some other beverage that I like. The only thing he used to say is Milo, and the Milo was the small container, the small concone get, and then pick me up the small concone, not the medium, not the biggest. So whenever I go there, I'll just have to pick those small concone, Milo and milk, because that's the only thing the man said. And then I take Happiness perfume, because that's the perfume I was using at the time, and Nivea roll on, and then just the small thing of it. If he gave me the money, I'll go and buy what I wanted. But I couldn't bring myself to telling him that I don't like these things. You understand? I didn't want him to feel like, okay, maybe I'm charging him because he's abroad, or maybe I was extorting anything from him. So I kept my cool. You get? So he asked me to go and collect the first time. I went and I collected. And those ones were his family friend. You understand? They knew him. The man is married with family. So they know him, and they knew that I was the person he intends to marry. So they were looking at me like to know the kind of person I was. So when I go there, I behave myself and collect something and come out. So the second time, I told myself I wasn't going to go there again. But then the second time, I said, go, that those things are not free, that I should go and collect, that he pays him, that after that he will send him the bill and then he will pay. You get? So I went the second time and I collected this same thing again. So the third time he said I should go and collect, and I told him no, that I don't want to go there and collect again. That I feel it's embarrassing to me. You understand? And note, he doesn't tell me the bill that this man gives him back. So I wouldn't know whether I'll collect something else and this man will give him another bill of something else. You understand? So, but then I kept my cool. When he asked me to go collect the third time, I told him I will not go. That if he wants to buy anything for me, that he should give me the money. Let me go to the market and buy. He gives me my self-respect than always going there looking at their face, to be able to collect this thing. So somehow I'm feeling disrespected. He said, no problem. That I should just go there and collect whatever I want. That no problem. That he used to pay. That he will pay. Just know that I didn't go back there again. I did not go there because I felt embarrassed. So instead of him to give me the money to go and buy these things myself, he preferred that I go and meet his family friend that is more like a brother to him to go and collect those things. I should have seen it as a sign. So please, whenever you're dating somebody in this situation, always look out for, you see those tiny things that you feel like they are nothing, actually, it means a lot, because in the future, those things are going to come to bite you. In the future, those things are going to come to bite you. And in the future, when you start talking about it, it will look like, why? Okay, why now? You get it? So now, that was how we met. That was how we dated. And then, meanwhile, prior to this time, on the 1st of May 2013, he called me and he said that I should give him a reply. That we've been talking for like some months now. So that I should give him a reply because he wants to know what he's doing. That he do not want to continue like this. And then in my head, this whole thing was just bothering me. Yes, I've been talking to this person. I've been, he seems like a nice person. And at this point, I feel like I know him a lot. So I started asking myself, because prior, I told him that I do not want to marry anybody I've not seen. That I have to see you, physically, and know that, okay, this is what I want or this is not what I want. He said, no. I told him, because me, I like tall guys. That if you're not tall, I don't like it. He said that he's tall. He even gave me a description. He told me, do I know so and so person? I said, yes. He said, okay, that he's taller than that person. I said, okay. So the pictures he showed me were all washed, these fine pictures, you understand? So that was how so that day he called me and said I must give him a reply. And in my head, I was thinking, what if this guy is a good person? I mean, so far we've been talking, nothing seems to be bad, nothing seems to be off. What if I say no now and lose the chance of, marrying a good man? What if he's a good man? So finally, let me check my mic. So finally, I told him, yes, I'll marry you. He said, okay. And immediately, not long enough, he sent his family members to come and meet my parents. They came and met my parents. They came and prayed my bride price. They came and did some of the traditional things. But I told him that I will have to see him before we get married. That if I don't see him, that I'm not marrying any picture, somebody before that. I'll have to marry him. He said, okay. So that he's coming back. He'll be coming back very soon. So he came back on the either 1st or 2nd of February 2014. And note that before our wedding was on the 8th of that same February 2014. So before then, we've already made our cards, we've already gave people cards, invited people to the wedding, a lot of things. I've gotten my gown, I've gotten a lot of things, you understand, my bridal things and everything. So him too has made his own arrangements, so we were just waiting for him to land so we can see, and then the wedding was the next Saturday. So he came back this Saturday, and I saw him this Saturday, and the next Saturday we got married. Now when he came back and we saw, the first time I saw him, I was flabbergasted. I was like, what have I gotten myself into? He's not as tall as he told me he was. And aside from that, he was way older than me. when we were talking, we were getting to know each other. He told me he was 8 years older than me. The age he told me he was 8 years older than me. So, and he was still in my age bracket because I wanted somebody who was either 5 to 10 years older than me at the time. So when he said he was 8 years older than me, I said, okay, you understand? I said, he's still within my age bracket. So, but when I saw him, I was seeing an old man. I found out that he's 16 years older than me. 16 good years older than me, if not more, safe. Anyway, so when I saw him, I saw an old man that is not as tall as I. Yes, he's a little bit taller than me. I am 5.5 feet tall. I'll be 5.3, thereabouts. So he's a little bit taller than me. But I like my men tall. I like to look at them like this. I know best, but it's my choice to get. So when I saw him, to be honest, I didn't know what to do. I just realized that there's been a lot of lies. You know, a lot of boxes were not ticking. A lot of boxes that I ticked, thinking that yes, I've ticked them. They cleaned up on their own. Which brings me back to another of my points. I can't remember at this point. Another of my lesson thing that I've learned so far is that do not marry somebody you're not compatible with. It could be emotionally, it could be physically, it could be intellectually, sexually, anything. Do not marry somebody that you're not compatible with. And listen, this compatibility thing that we're talking about, yes, you're not going to get everything that you're looking for, but then there are certain things that if those boxes are ticked, you can overlook the other ones. And when it comes physically, at least the things that I see physically, you see height, it's something that I love so much. If you're not as tall as I want, to be honest, I don't know. So when we finally met, I realized that he wasn't everything he told me he was. You get? He's not. Physically, things that I built in my head, in my mind, it was not what I was seeing. At least at the time I was seeing him, because at this point we've not started living, we're not having sex, so I can't say whether sexually we're compatible or not. So, which is why if you're a man or you're a woman, and let's say you're a man, and you love plumpy women, naturally you love plumpy women, big size women, chubby women, do not go and marry a slim girl hoping that tomorrow she's going to add up. Some might not add up. Don't go and marry a slim girl and say, her mother is fat, she will eventually get fat. I have a friend, her mother is very fat. The husband came to marry her thinking that, yeah, in the future, by the time she starts giving birth, she's going to add and be like her mother. But no, she took after her father, and they are having issues because the man thought that she's going to get fat, but she didn't. So if you're a man that likes chubby woman, please better marry a chubby woman. There are women like that. If you want chubby woman and somebody that is, educated, intelligent, and you see a chubby woman that is not educated, calm down. Women never finish for the world. You're eventually going to meet a chubby woman that is intelligent, that has those things that you're looking for. And then you're a man, you like slim women, and then you meet slim women that are slim, but they are not as intelligent as you want, or they are not as exposed as you like. And then you see this one that is exposed and intelligent, the only thing is that she's fat, and then you say, let me go and marry her. You're not making any sense. Because tomorrow you're going to marry her and start body shaming her. That time, the intellectual sense that you like, the education that you love, you will not see it again. What you're seeing is one fat woman. And you start disturbing her to lose weight, do exercise, do that one, do this one. There will be no happiness in the mind. So do not settle down with somebody you're not compatible with. Don't worry, if you've not seen everything you're looking for, calm down and keep looking, you're going to find. Are you hearing me? So when I saw these things, I said, no, I'm not going to marry. I ran away. At some point, they begged me and asked me to come back. I came back. My family members were like, how can you say you're not going to marry now? How can you say you're not going to marry now? Somebody that has done all the traditional things, somebody that has done this, that. In fact, traditionally, he's already your husband. You cannot say that you'll not marry again. How can you say you'll not marry again? You've not seen anything. He did not do anything wrong. Yes, he's older than you, but yes, a lot of girls marry women that are men that are older than them, and they eventually leave. Even this older one will even pamper you, will even take care of you, will even treat you nice, will even take good care of you. You can understand? Instead of you marry a young boy that's going to be breaking your heart, that's going to be cheating on you anyhow. If you're a naive young girl out there, don't let them pressure you. Once you've seen that thing that you cannot take, run. No matter what anybody is saying, run. So finally I gave in. After I ran away, I came back 2 days to the wedding, and when everybody was telling me, you have to marry, I told myself, what's the point? What's the point now? There's no need running away again. Let me marry. In fact, let me marry this marriage for you people. Let me marry it for you people, and I hope this thing turns out well. And then plus him too, he kept making so much promises that he didn't eventually keep. Kept telling me, don't worry, I'm going to make you the happiest woman on earth. I'm going to make you the happiest woman. Every of your friends, everybody is going to be jealous of you because of how happy you're going to be, how this one, how that one. He said, okay, I know that, okay, I'm not as tall as you like, as you wanted, but don't worry, we are going to have tall children. Your children are going to be very tall. Now that promise not still with. I'm not saying don't fail every other promise we don't make, but I'm still holding down to that promise, the one about my children. If you ever do me this one, that's the only one that I'm actually praying to God, seriously. And to be honest, when I look at them, they keep leg like children when go tall. So it's looking like that would be the only promise he actually kept. But for now, I'm still holding myself. I'm still keeping it here, and I'm praying. I'm hoping that that promise actually turns out well, that my children are going to be very tall. Yeah, that one is gonna happen, whether he likes it or not. So that was how we eventually got married. And if you see my face the day we got married, you're gonna pity me. My face, if flies like this dare touch my face, it's going to fall dead. It's to fall dead, I'm telling you, because of how unhappy I was. It was during the reception that I eventually livened up. I told myself, you're now in this, like, you have to make the best out of this thing. Like, there's no need being upset again, you know, just be happy, because in the next 20 years you're going to look back at these your videos, you know, your wedding videos, and if your face is like that, how are you going to explain to your children? You understand? So it was during my reception that I livened up. I started dancing, trying to make memories for myself. You understand? So when we eventually got married and started living together, which brings me back to my last lesson that I learned: do not live in isolation. Do not live in isolation. If you're a naive girl, a young girl, an introvert. I was an introvert. I don't know, life and maturity has made me become somehow in between. I cannot say I'm an extrovert, and I cannot say I'm an introvert. There are times when I can freely talk to anybody, you understand? And there are times when I'll just, you know, move back into my shell. So I feel like maturity and age has actually brought me this far, you understand? But back then, I was an introvert. I was an introvert that, you know, would always keep to myself. I had few friends, and now the friends that I had before I got married, I lost those friends because of my ex-husband as well. He told them lies about me. He kept telling them he gave me something to give them, and then they kept feeling like, since they're the one that recommended me, that puts me in this paradise that I am, you know. So at the time, they saw it as paradise. And because a few months after our wedding, he did papers for me and I went abroad. I'm going to do a video of that one separately. I went abroad, but I stayed 2 months and I came back. So that one's story for another day. So because of that, they felt like, they have now put me in paradise. I have now entered God's kingdom. Look at how I am enjoying. You understand? So he told them that he was giving me something to give them, and I didn't give them. So they became upset with me, and I found out that they were even snitching on me, telling lies, discussing me with him. You understand? You guys, if you've been following me, and the thing with sharing these stories now is that sometimes I've healed. So some of those things I've let them go, and some of these things I've tried to forget them, especially the one that has to do with my friends, because I lost those friendships because till today we don't talk. Just few that we just say hello, the rest we do not talk, you get. So, you know, these years has passed by. Our marriage lasted for only 5 years plus. February next year now would have been 11 years of marriage. So I've learned to let a lot of things slide, you get. So, and which is why I cannot remember everything that happened. Like, I can remember, but to start recounting them, you get, especially the one that had to do with my friends, I just feel like it's irrelevant, you understand? So I lost those friends, that's just what you know. So, and he wanted to isolate me. He made me lose my friends. He made me lose a lot of people, friends, extended friends, are not my close friends. Family friends. And he equally wanted me to lose my family. I lost some of my family members too. He wanted me to lose my immediate family members, which was impossible. So that was the one that we got to realize that, this guy's not what he seems to. So if you're a young girl, you're a young woman in this kind of situation, do not live in denial, do not live in isolation. Do not let anybody isolate you. Once you notice these things, run, start speaking up. Don't keep quiet. Talk to people. Do I help you? Talk to people. A lot of people didn't know that I would survive what I survived because of I was an introvert. So they felt like, hey, I think I cannot survive this kind of thing. And initially, I didn't want to talk about it because I was thinking of what people are going to say. They're going to say, the abroad marriage again did not come and work. And here, Shebi wanted to marry abroad husband. You want people that do not know the full story, they don't know anything. I say, Shebi is you that want to marry abroad husband, because already they were talking. They were saying, abroad husband, your husband abroad, she did Nigeria. So if I come out and I start talking about these things, I felt embarrassed. I didn't want to talk about them. But that is the whole goal. You understand? He didn't know I was going to start speaking up. He thought, one, he has isolated me. I've lost my friends. I've lost some of my family members. So now I'll live at his mercy. But he didn't know that I had a thick skin. You get? I had a survival skin. You see that time that you push it. When I get to my extreme, like a strength from nowhere will just come out of nowhere. You understand? More so, he had no plans of us living together. Yes, I visited him abroad, but then severally when I told him that this thing that I cannot continue like this, let us live together, let us see how we can make this marriage work. It's either you come back to Nigeria, we can live together in Nigeria, or I come and join you full time abroad so that we can live together. But he refused. So there was he didn't want us to live together. It was very obvious. He just wanted a naive girl that will be getting pregnant for him and having children for him while he lives his life and enjoy his life. Probably when he's now very old, okay, then he can now come back for us to live as husband and wife. At that point, what use is it? Yes. So please, I know that there are young people that get married to older people and then they eventually, they eventually happy and enjoy their marriage. Yeah, it happens. But please, just be careful and prayerful at the same time. Look out for this compatibility thing I'm talking about. If you're somebody that is sexually active, you cannot go one full day without having sex 3 or 4 times. Do not go and settle with somebody that thinks that sex is not a food. Do not go and settle down with somebody that thinks, sex, na food. You don't chop in the morning. You want na doctor's prescription. Do not go and try it, because you're going to get, you're going to choke, because both of you are not on the same level. If you're somebody that you love exercise a lot, you love gym, every morning, night you're in the gym, working out, and you want to settle down, please marry somebody that has the same mental orientation. Sorry. Because if you go and marry somebody that every morning and night, they even go gym good, they go your thing and not follow you, you're gonna burn out. So marry somebody you're compatible with. The things that you like. I'm not saying that you must like, I like the same color, she likes the same color, we like the same music, she likes the same music. That's not what I'm saying. Compatibility comes in different ways, in different forms. It's either emotionally, physically, spiritually. If somebody is spiritually minded and you want to get married, I see that this person is not as spiritually minded as you are. And this person too, is not like if you give him your hand the right push, now the person is going to bounce back and become, you just say that you're going to waste your time. Better quickly leave that person. Don't say, she has the heights that I like. She has the nyash that I like. She's intelligent. She's this one, she's that one. Okay, I'm going to help her. I'm going to help her work on this one, on that one. If you notice that those ones that you cannot, like, it's not something that she too wants to even work on, please leave the person. And when I say to one, I say to all, men inclusive. You're a woman, and these are the things too. Don't go say, time is no longer on my side, let me marry him like that. You're gonna burn out in the marriage. So that is how I met my ex-husband, and that was how the marriage crumbled, and those are the lessons that I've learned. So I just hope that this thing is going to teach 1 or 2 persons, to know what to look out for and how to navigate this relationship journey. It's not easy, okay? It's not easy. But whatever situation you find yourself, do not allow yourself to be isolated. Yes. Do not feel so ashamed that you cannot speak up. No, because that's the goal. What's her name? Osinachi Machuku. She didn't speak up of everything that was happening to her. She did not speak up, and that was what killed her. We do not want to be like her. So speak up. I'm not saying you have small disagreement with your husband and you come out and say you're speaking up. That is not it. Settle your problem. You understand? There are different types of abuse. I've said it before. So just know what works for you and what that does not work for you. So yeah, thank you so much. That is it. Please drop your comments as always in the comment section. If there are any other thing you want me to talk about, please say it in the comment section too. I'm listening, I'm reading the comments, okay? I'll see you in my next video. Until then, bye.